Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on Big Warrior, or a cheat warrior, whatever you want to call it. It wants to use cards like Gather Your Party and old Commencement here to cheat out big scary creatures ahead of the curve, big things like your Neptulons and your Scrapyard Colossus. You can also do this earlier than, say, turn 6 by using a From the Depths to reduce the cost of, say, the cheating instruments to get it out a little bit early. The rest of the cards are just tools to not die. Ambassador Phelan, however, is the only bad hit off of all of our cheating tools, as Phelan will put more good things to cheat into the deck. And that is the basics of the deck tech. We'll go ahead now into game number 1, but before we do, remember to like the video if you liked it, and sub if you like my weird grab bag of content, and would like to see more in the future. Now, on to game number 1.
Versus Mayev.
Game number 1 with our little Big Warrior.
My fury.
I will show
General sideboarding rules are to, if you can, not sideboarding, sorry, wrong game. General mulligan rules are that you don't want to keep anything you would like to cheat in your opening hand. Of course, you're going to draw some. It's just the reality of things. But you are looking for, usually, your cheating tools. One thing I didn't talk about in the deck tech is the Clash of the Colossals. I know this isn't exactly what the deck is trying to do, but in a big warrior, I figured more Colossals is good for the theme. Now, our opponent is probably playing Pirate, Rogue, maybe Kingsbane. Next turn, we can always just Trident into at least the Buccaneer or whatever other thing they have to play. Okay. Our game plan remains largely the same, as we said. Shield block is nice. You might just need the armor for the more practical reason of not dying. See what our opponent does. If anything. They could always just hero power and bonk us a little bit, which is an option. Okay. Secret passaging it away. Now they're gone fishing. They don't appear to be doing a whole hell of a lot, as we said. One can't help but to wonder what they were like really looking for. But hey, I mean, whatever. It's a good question. We'll go ahead and clash this turn. Does give us something
for the horde
to play next turn, which is nice. See what our opponent does. They haven't really determined that much of what our opponent's trying to do, because so far their deck could be basically anything. Alright, so it does appear to be Kingsbane.
Never bring a sword to a fish
Okay,
fight.
so maybe it's just a pirate rogue that happens to be running it. I know we said that we were going to play the Nelly here, but we have Phelan.
We're going on a
So we'll go ahead and play Phelan and put more Colossus into our deck. That way we have a better pool to draw from our little cheating tools. Coin from our opponent. I don't know what you're coining on 6. Oh, okay, tank. Okay. Tinker, cutting class. We appear to have a pretty similar. I mean, odds are that we have something similar, as I also myself do have
Never bring a sword to a fish fight.
little Kingsbane list. We'll go ahead and recruit, see what we hit. This is nice. Just wanting to get as much damage off the board as we can. Next turn, whatever we commencement will give us more taunt and divine shield, hopefully allowing us to live longer. Another oil. isn't great. Drawing a lot and doing their Kingsbane thing. Yeah, this pair with poison, which is not great. I think we're okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, to be fair, sometimes you just get run down. Although, to be fair, they did kind of spin their wheels a little bit, so... Very well. We'll go on to game number 2, and hopefully we'll have a better one. And game number 2 with that little big cheat warrior.
I will show no
Pretty good
mercy.
opening hand, it has to be said. Again, throw away all the things we want to cheat. Basically have drawn our game plan, which is nice. Ooh, okay, some quest line stuff, not bad. We'll probably from the depths on turn 2. We'll just coin. Why is pack? I mean, whatever. I guess you just need some good stuff every once in a while. So yeah, we'll go ahead and coin from the depths here. That's not fantastic, but it'll do, I guess. Another one. Do those count as card draw? When you draw this at a copy, so you're not drawing the second copy. I didn't think so. I must admit, I'm a little bit confused. Get bumped a little bit. We'll go ahead and just clash, as well as play the Trident, get some on the board. Alright, see what our opponent's gonna do. I mean, I know what their deck is trying to do, but I must be honest, the pack mules are a little weird. I mean, I guess you are drawing a lot in the deck, so odds are you get a lot of pack mules. I mean, okay. Just hero power on Bonk. Next turn, if nothing else, we'll power Leviathan. We could always actually Leviathan and now get the Sunken Trident to help deal with our opposing player's board here. Now, whether or not that's a particularly good play. Okay, now their deck is starting to be weird to the point where I no longer know what they're doing. I know what they want to do, it has to be said. Yeah, the Scout brings not card draw. It's a different keyword. Alright. Yeah, we'll just Leviathan this turn, I guess. Stick with the original plan. I mean, maybe if we find Phelan, we put Phelan in our hand. That's okay, this is the half of good. Yeah. Just Trident in our hand. We're in some trouble. Does have to be said. They can trade into the tail of the Leviathan, or the claw, pardon.
Locked up with somewhere to go.
Okay. That's a thing you can do. Has to be said. Alright, what are we doing here? Maybe there's some weird combo that I'm not seeing buried in this, which is very possible. Now, gather your party or any of our little cheat tools. If we haven't drawn Phelan, as we talked about in the deck tech, it is the one non-hit. So we're just gonna have to kind of hope we don't get that, right?
I have no
Not bad.
master.
We'll take it. Next turn, we can do a pretty similar thing. Again, just commencement. Hope we don't hit Phelan. But at least if you hit it with commencement, or hit Phelan with commencement, it does still get Taunt and Divine Shield. Which is more useful than you think. Alright. Is he going for the... No, it's not Outcast. So he's not drawing that way. I think you need, what, one more card? Okay. Right. Need for green. Does that progress carry over? No, it doesn't. So anything beyond... Okay, that's actually good to know. That it doesn't count one card they need, then count towards this next stage of their quest. It does it all in one. I already had Taunt. But to be fair, I mean, I still stand that it's 5. That's a pretty solid little thing. Next turn we can do something similar. I might actually just Crush and Hero Power and try and gain some armor. We are a little bit low for my taste.
Locked up with somewhere to go.
While we have a legitimate game, I do have to be a little bit honest about this deck. Big Shaman, at least in Wild, is a very popular deck. This is for several reasons, as far as I can tell. No, that's not that. That's not that bad. It is like this because, or Big Shaman is good because it has a lot of redundancy in the. You can pop off very quick with Lightning Bloom. You can basically cheat a 10-drop plus in some situations on turn 1 if you have a good draw. Or even then on turn anywhere from 2 to 3, you can do like really crazy turns. And you have a lot of redundancy in the form of your effects. You have the Call and your Eureka, which are both cheaper than what Warrior can do a similar effect for.
For now.
Our pun didn't really need to leave that game, but sure. I'm going to finish talking about this one, and I'll try and regain my composure. Big Shaman is really strong as a result of their consistency and how early they can have their big pop-off turn happen. Where you can Lightning Bloom into a Call, a Eureka, or a Bog Shaper, and on turns 1, 2, and 3, and cheat out 10 drops, or even more if you hit a charge, which I don't have in this deck. If I had the card, I'd run it. I just don't know. And as a result, the ability to do it much faster and also much more consistent than a Warrior, or I think even a Paladin can do, is what really allows Big Shaman to shine at this, and where things like a Big Warrior or Paladin, or I guess like, what's that card called? Demon Hunter Proving Grounds, I think. Those cards happen far later on the curve, so you're not really getting a good amount of tempo gained by cheating on the mana. And so, while I do like this deck, and we'll go to a game number 3, if you're going to make a deck like this, just spend your dust on like a good Big Shaman list. It's far more consistent. You have access to far better tools. Now, with that out of the way, we still will, however, go on to our customary third game. As our rewards. There we go, there are rewards. Now we're going to game 3.
Versus
And our game number 3 with our little Big Shaman. Big Shaman, sorry, Big Warrior.
I will show no mercy.
Again, get rid of the cards you don't want, or get rid of the cards you want to cheat into play, as this particular big list requires things be in the deck, where a Big Shaman requires things to be in the hand. It's not great. Probably going to keep the coin for gather here. But to continue on from my point I started at the end of the last video,
May the light grant you peace.
that you can very easily do the cool thing in a Big Shaman on like turn 1. The earliest you can do it with is basically turn 4 with the coin.
With every step, the light guides you.
Yeah, turn 3 with the coin, turn 4 without the coin. And honestly, like, if it sounds silly to call like an extra turn or two like too slow, but it kind of is for what the deck wants to do. I know I just talked about it, but I'll really drive the point home. Big Shaman is good because it's fast and consistent. You can kind of get relatively consistent. I mean, we don't have a third effect in Warrior besides Woe Cleaver, and Woe Cleaver is 8 mana, which is actively bad to use an 8 mana card to cheat out another 8 mana card. You just wouldn't bother. And there are no cheaper effects in Warrior that can allow you to get the effect. Now, it's a fun list, and I'm happy that I've done the list for the sake of like expanding my abilities. But hang on. But I don't think this list is gonna like stay. This particular list is gonna stay in my rotation. We'll go ahead and just guard the city. 1 second. I feel this. The sneeze is coming. Oh my, there it goes. I thought the sneeze was coming, but it's not. We're just looking to play a little bit slow right now. If nothing else, we can just clash next turn. Our little Naga Centaur here will help to sort of slow down our opponent. I know they're probably sitting on some Librams that will allow them to trade through, but that is mana they have to spend, and we're just kind of looking to stall for time. In a deck like this, maybe if we hit a good Colossal, maybe like a Gigafin being cheap would be nice. Neptulon's not awful, it's just not great. Go ahead and trade now. Just wanting to get damage off the board before they can doubtless buff whatever they play, with all their holy spells drawn. As far as I've been able to tell, decks like this, the holy spells they draw are usually buffs like your Librams or whatever. Insert generic holy buff to your dudes here.
Reporting for duty.
Now, they're doing some weird combo finish, and that's why they haven't like popped off yet. But we'll find out probably really soon if they are a combo deck. We're on turn 5, so we'll go ahead and coin into a recruit.
You're going on a dangerous voyage.
Yeah, and that's why. One thing that another perk that Big Shaman gets is that because all of your stuff, all your cheating spells pull from stuff in your hand, it's much easier to control bad hits, to where you wouldn't want to cheat out a Bog Shaper or whatever that card is called. If it came from your deck, it would be too inconsistent, kind of like a Phelan is. But because Big Shaman pulls from the hand, you can basically engineer any situation, or have better control over a situation and engineer a better outcome by just being able to play things from hand naturally. This deck does have dead hits, one like Phelan does. Admittedly, Phelan's the only dead hit in the deck, and its inclusion is a net positive, as earlier versions did not run Phelan and were significant.
Quickly.
And maybe this is more akin to just the reality of the differences that exist, and one is just an inferior version of another. This is a very real possibility. It does have to be kind of stated. Proper turn 6, we'll just recruit again. Luckily there's no more bad hits.
My hand is too full.
They hit the ice. Okay, now I don't know what they are. But to be fair, the old Ice Lord's a pretty easy budget replacement, because I believe Ice Lord's free, or was free at a time. I mean, hell, I have Ice Lord also. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, go ahead. Play your equality, my dude. Come on, don't be rude. Thank you. Okay, I thought they were drawing, like, buff holes, which is really throwing my established ideas for a loop. Go ahead and commencement. Already has the taunt, so the taunt part of commencement's a little redundant, but the Divine Shield is nice. Does mean they have to do significantly more work to make it happen. Next turn, we have a slew of options depending on what they, what kind of board they develop. Oh, neato. That's not that bad, actually. Now that I think about it, if they just play whatever the fuck thing is. That's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. I think we just naturally crushed beneath the endless sky. Now they probably have another equality consecrate or equality city tax or Lord Barov city tax, some answer my board card, so we don't want to commit too hard into the doubtless sweepers that they have. But I do feel like this board is sufficiently large enough to demand their removal that they more than likely have. That's annoying, but that's not that bad. Because I can still just, you know, hit him in the dome with old Neptulon himself. I got 6 mana. Gotta do something with it. Okay. Okay, now I no longer know what their deck is. It appears to have used the Battle Vicars and the Holy Spell dudes to get their control tools. So we're gonna need to probably play old Nelly here as a big scary taunt. Try and get some good, probably proactive cards. Captain's fine. That's not awful, actually, if they have another one of those. Yeah, why not? Gangplank Divers. Fine. Hit him for 14. They use their consecration, so they're gonna have to rely on like a city tax to do it now, if they want to clear the board. Because they more than likely still have another, I'm sorry. Still have another, there you go, sweeper of some sort. Get the fuck out of here! I'm gonna steal the immovable object! That's fantastic! Oh, that's the greatest fucking thing ever. Yeah, burn it! I don't give a shit. That is the best fucking thing ever. That's so good. Yeah, we'll play the depths. I think we just win, like, immediately. That's the funniest fucking thing ever. That's the best. Holy fucking shit, that's really funny. Yeah, I don't even care if I win or lose this game. I think I've won, to be fair. But, like, that play alone. Yeah, go ahead, heal. I don't give a shit. Oh, that's really fucking funny. Holy fucking shit, that's great. Do I kill them this turn? Let's see, 5, 10, 13, 14, 15. Alright, we'll do something fun. Alright. Yeah, wait. I think we win? Yeah. Because we stole the fucking immovable object. That's the fucking best. I can think of no better place to end the video than that. I would like to think we've talked enough about the deck to explain its pros and cons and weaknesses, and to show you how it will play out in reality. And occasionally you get a fucking ridiculous win like that. I want to thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video if you like it, so I know what to make more of. And if you like my weird grab bag of content, hey, that's what the sub button's for. If you have any sort of constructive bits of criticism, say, why aren't you running card X instead of Y? That's what comments are for usually. Again, just keep it constructive. Remember to stay safe out there, and in the case of where I live, stay inside when it gets really hot and not safe to walk. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!